New video format!
Basically just a video filled with random products.
Why?
Because there's way too many products and not enough time to review them all.
One of the struggles that I've had over the last few years is that I'll buy products and then I actually won't review them. So there's a bunch of stuff that I've used, but either the products are bad enough that I won't create its own standalone video, or I just don't have the time to. So at the end of, the last video of every month from now until the end of the year, we're gonna do like an accessories roundup video. It's gonna be absolutely terrible for the YouTube algorithm because it's not a video about just one thing. It's about a video about like 5 to 6 different things, but yeah, you know, here we are.
So in this video, I'm gonna talk about the Metropolis LT and also the Crux system on the Catalyst Influence.
I'm going to talk about the Nomad Sport Strap. Also going to give you guys an update on the Sapphire Shellrus screen protector. Going to talk about this Logitech Folio Touch that I've been using for the last few months. And I've got one more thing I was supposed to talk about. Oh, Apple's updated leather strap. I'm going to review this as well. So
just to clarify, for Aaron's parts, he's talking and I'm showing. These are not his hands. Clearly.
Roll the review.
Now when it comes to the Nomad Sport Band, in general, I really don't like how this strap feels. It's kind of hard trying to keep it on all day. It feels quite a bit bulkier than the Apple Sport Loop, but the straps themselves are only about 0.5 millimeter thicker, which isn't much. It's really been hard to pinpoint why it bothers me. Now the materials that Nomad uses in the strap is FKM, which sounds fancy, but falls in the same class of fluoroelastomers, which is the same as the Apple Sport Loop. The bands themselves have more give than Apple's loops, and the button, though custom designed, fits very well on the strap. The fit of the lugs with the watch is also very tight, which is something I couldn't say for their active rugged strap I reviewed a few months ago. The only thing that I can think of why I don't like this product is the texture. I think it's too aggressive. There is a curve on the inside of the band which is there to minimize contact between your skin and the strap, but right along the edges are ridges from the sweat channels that kind of dig into your wrist a bit too much. I think that's what bothers me from a comfort level for this product. Now from a workout perspective, from a sporty perspective, it just performs as well as Apple Sports Loops. It gets sweaty after you're done. I didn't encounter any exercises that I couldn't do with the strap, but that's not much of a consolation prize if the strap is going to annoy me for the other 23 hours of the day, right?
The Urban Armor Gear Metropolis case is, in my opinion, an okay case. Compared to all the other Urban Armor Gear cases that I've used, this one doesn't really seem to fit as snug and perfectly as something like the Monarch. The Metropolis doesn't add too much bulk to the iPhone, which I like. It's got large corners, which is a must for someone like me who's always dropping my phone. Sorry, Aaron. The high corners also help with handling when holding your phone in one hand, and the back of the case has this nice woven fabric piece, which Urban Armor Gear calls high strength abrasion resistant fabric.
Fiber armor.
The fit of the case is a little loose on the edges, and it kind of feels like there's a tiny air pocket along the sides, which also makes the buttons feel a little mushy when you press down on them. The looser fit may also be due to the fact that this is a single layer TPU case. I wouldn't say the fit is terrible or a deal breaker. I actually find it so easy to take off when having to swap out for other cases, and it doesn't break my nails, so that's a huge plus for me. Overall, I like this case. Would I buy it for myself? Probably not, but that has more to do with the fact that there's not many color options and it's just too serious looking for me. Like all the other Urban Armor Gear cases I've used are very bold and I would say aggressive looking, and this one is just too business casual for my taste. The last thing I'll say about this case is that MagSafe charging is kind of annoying. The website states that it is compatible, but it does take a few attempts to find the right spot for it to work.
So if you're finding this review useful, be sure to buy all of your tech accessories through our Amazon links, and you can also support us through Patreon.
Because again, unsponsored channel, which means we got to buy all this stuff ourselves, which there's so much of it. Like honestly, so much of it.
Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm a little sad that I have to take the Shellrus screen protector off my iPhone 12 Pro Max. Somebody sent me a few prototype screen protectors for the Mac, so well, I'm going to be testing those for the next few weeks. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Shellrus Sapphire X, well, it's the only screen protector that we've used that is actually scratch resistant to the hardness of 9 on the Mohs scale. I've had this screen protector on my Pro Max for about 3 months, and there isn't anything on the screen. No micro scratches, no cracks, no nothing. I think there was 3 accidental face drops in the last, well, test period and the screen protector didn't crack. Honestly, if you have the cash to spend, this product is honestly something else.
Now this technically isn't a review. It's more like a follow-up. This is a product we really like and want to show you how it holds up to our standards over time. It's honestly one of the very few products that lives up to the hype.
Alright, let's talk about the updated Apple Watch strap, the leather one. Now when it comes to Apple's latest round of redesigned straps, the leather strap is actually my favorite, despite the fact that I can't use it at the gym with how I work out. Now why do I like it so much? It's oddly comfortable. The updated leather strap has two short straps rather than a long strap and a loop. The bumps on the strap contain magnets that are similar to Mouse's one-way magnets. The straps come together in one orientation, so there's no way you could wear the strap wrong. The updated leather strap takes a bit of getting used to when you're trying to put on your Apple Watch. With the old loop, you just string your hand through the loop and clasp it down. With the updated leather strap, you have to pin the strap to your wrist, attach the straps, and then readjust. It does take a fraction of a second longer to put your Apple Watch on. Now, tightening the strap just requires you to open up the longer strap, pin the shorter one to your wrist, and then reattach. Now, loosening the strap only requires you to put your wrist in a bit of flexion and the magnets will move slightly. And that's why I love this product. You get the perfect fit every single time. Now the strap you're looking at in this video has been put in a heavy rotation for several months now, and the wear and tear on this orange product, yellow product, depending on what colors you see, is fairly evident. You can definitely tell where my wrists rub up against my working surfaces. Working out with the strap isn't terrible, but any movements that involve a lot of wrist flexion and extension will loosen the band over time and it just gets annoying. And it also gets sweaty, but you can always just wipe it down after you're done. Now I've come to realize that because of the perfect fit, I'm actually willing to forego the annoyances at the gym, and that doesn't happen very often because gym time is Aaron's happy place. The only other downside is the price. It's not cheap at $100, but I feel like it's a better deal than the $100 nylon band.
The Catalyst Influence is a double-layered case with a polycarbonate back and TPU edges. And this case, I love. It's got air cushions along the corners and a raised edge, both helping with drops. The edges of the case and buttons have something Catalyst calls micro texture grip, which helps so much with handling. The Influence has forward audio projection, which is actually pretty cool. It really does make a difference when you're listening to music or watching something on your phone. The Influence also has something called the Crux attachment system, which are these little cutouts on each corner of the case where you can attach things like a strap, a carabiner, or a lanyard. This really adds a ton of functionality to your case, and the Crux attachment is this tiny clip, which is actually very strong. I also got to test out the Influence with a stick-on wallet, which I really liked, and not only because I could carry around a couple cards, but also because the elastic band on the back of it kind of reminded me of the loopy case. It made it easy to carry around my phone when I had other things in my hands. Texting or just one-handed usage was great, and the occasional selfie didn't result in me dropping my phone as always. But by far my favorite thing about this case is the mute switch. I actually found myself just playing around with it because that click is so satisfying and it works perfectly. The Catalyst Influence is also MagSafe compatible, and for anyone who likes flashier looking accessories like myself, it comes in 4 different colors, and you can also customize your case with these bright and colorful interchangeable buttons and lanyards.
In general, the Logitech Folio Touch is the best non-Apple trackpad that I've used to date, which is kind of sad given how much money we spent on iPad keyboards in the last while. Overall, if you need a keyboard and trackpad that feels a bit tougher than Apple's own Magic Keyboard, then you go with the Logitech product. Your iPad isn't as exposed and your Apple Pencil is going to be a little safer. You won't be able to knock it off by accident. Now, the entire setup isn't as solid feeling as Logitech's own Slim Folio Pro and is closer to the Zag's lineup of keyboard, as you have a floppy flap for a keyboard and a hinge for your viewing angles. This part will be camera feed.
So now I know Bridge has been teasing us with their updated firmware that says, hey, you're getting a native multi-touch using this product, not that one. But that's still going to be kind of a far cry from, you know, the actual Magic Keyboard or the Logitech Folio Touch because, well, they treat it like a laptop when the iPad is not a laptop. The Magic Keyboard, this thing is just miles ahead of whatever Bridge has. So that's kind of my 2 cents, but maybe that'll change my tune when I realize that this product can now do this product's touch features. Probably not.
The Logitech case has a cloth finish, which is a nice break from various plastic finish products that we've used before. The iPad system and the TPU frame looks very thick, but the buttons actually work very well through it. The keyboard itself is powered by the iPad through the smart connector, which removes the need for an external battery, which means no more counting flashes like you do when your furnace stops working to figure out how much battery power is left. The biggest knock I have against this product is the fact that it doesn't put the iPad to sleep when you close it up. That's a big fail. I've had my iPad die a bunch of times because of that failure. When it comes to typing, the keys on the Logitech keyboard are top-notch. The response on the product is actually very close to Apple's own Magic Keyboard. The keys aren't mushy like zags, and they feel way better than bridges. The function keys at the top of the keyboard do kind of make sense as they're all kind of useful buttons, unlike some of the other odd buttons on other products like language and Bluetooth buttons and battery connection buttons. When it comes to the overall versatility of the product, the Logitech Folio Touch pales in comparison to the Apple Magic Keyboard from our perspective. You can't remove the iPad easily. That's the short of it. And that's kind of a big deal if you just want to use your iPad like, Steve Jobs intended, without a stylus and a trackpad. Now, as a side note, if you're really paranoid about damaging your iPad with the Magic Keyboard, there are cases that are compatible with the Magic Keyboard. We just haven't reviewed any of them yet. But the only reason why I say it pales in comparison is because I've used both products. If you get the Logitech Folio Touch, which is a great product, you won't notice that difference.
So that's all we got for this video. So some of the stuff that we're using for the month of March includes the MagEz case for the iPad Pro. We've got something similar from Cover Buddy. We've had this for months now. We just never got around to using it. Stuff. Phone Rebel cases that we'll be using, as well as the new screen protectors from Rhinoshield. So those are some of the products that we'll be using on top of all the other stuff that we were planning on making videos about, like these are all iPad styluses. I didn't realize that there were so many of them until I looked into it, and there's lots. So got a lot of content coming your guys' way. First time watching one of our videos, what do you do, Val?
Click subscribe.
Subscribe. And if you want to help us out even further, again, get your stuff through our Amazon links, because we never do pre-roll YouTube ads, paid to do that stuff. I'm tired. I've been drinking a lot. What else do we have to say, Monty? That is it. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye now.